Welcome back to United Way's Community Talk. I'm your host and MSA United Way Executive Director, Jenna Go. I always have fun here. I'm not a real radio host, as you might not have been able to tell, I'm sure, but co-hosting with me to help save me when I start talking too much or don't know what I'm saying is Mr. Scott Hansen.
It's all behind the scenes, though. It's hand signals. So unfortunately, I don't get to see that.
We're right. Help, save me, Scott, save me. Yeah, he mentioned he does the signal for cut. Quit talking, Jenna. Scott, talk real quickly and let people know what's going on at 96 Hours of Caring.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to have to jet out here in a few short minutes and run down the street to do a quick interview at Dakota Community Bank. But that's part of 96 Hours of Caring, and Town Square Media has very generously donated airtime the next 4 days, Monday through Thursday, to help raise awareness.
They do it every year.
And they do it. This is the ninth year in a row.
And they volunteer their time. We're usually at Carpet World Thursday night, 6 o'clock, and we get these huge donations worth of food. And so all of the Town Square Media folks, they load up the food, they sort it, they deliver it to our partner agencies to help meet the needs in the community. It's just an awesome way that they give back. We appreciate it so much.
It's definitely cool. So tune in to your favorite Town Square station and learn a little bit about some of the great programs and organizations in the community.
Yeah, and get involved. They can bring food. We're looking for any pop-top soups, any granola bars, peanut butter, things that we can put in our United Way backpacks, or, food meals for our local food pantries, people in need. People are surprised, but there are way too many people in our community that do suffer from hunger. You wouldn't think it with the growing economy. Yeah,
no. There was a survey that was released a few months back, and I apologize, I don't have the source, but it identified about 13,000 people who rely on food banks each year, just in Burleigh County alone.
Yeah, that's 1 in 12 people that experience what we call food insecurity, that experience hunger. And when we do United Way's backpack program, last week we delivered 429 backpacks full of food to kids in the Bismarck and Mandan elementary schools. We do that every other week. So if you want to get involved in 96 Hours of Caring, one easy way is to go online right now. Go to MSA United Way. Click on Town Square Media's 96 Hours of Caring banner. Give $5. $5 will support a United Way backpack. Can you do that? Can you give a $25 gift for the Dolly Parton Imagination Library? Another program we run, we do not charge any admin for these programs. We are here for you to keep our community great. So however you can get involved, please do. And one way that we're really keeping our community great is by researching and funding, supporting new programs for people of all ages in our community. In a little bit, we will be talking with Renee Kipp at Burleigh County Senior Center. But right now, on the line, joining us from Fargo, we do have a representative from the Southeast Education Cooperative. We have Jolene Gardy. Jolene, can you hear me? Gosh, Jolene, thanks for being on our show today. We are really happy to have you, and I was so impressed. Gosh, it was about a year and a half ago, when we had Amy Walters come into the Bismarck-Mandan area. She assembled a little group of us, the DPI superintendent. We also had the superintendents of the local public schools and a lot of great partners to talk about the North Dakota Reading Corps. And tell us what that is, because you are a new United Way partner and our listeners want to hear more. Well, and it's interesting. You don't base this necessarily on income level, do you? And so we know in Bismarck-Mandan, we have over 35% of our low-income kids that aren't reading at proficiency level. And that means they're 4 times less likely to graduate from high school later on. That is unbelievable. And it seems like such an effective way to have a long-term effect. And that's what we're going for at our United Way, is not just putting Band-Aids over issues, but really targeting what are some solutions to prevent bigger issues from coming our way. So talk about how the program has worked in other communities.
So we provide those 20-minute one-on-one sessions that our tutors spend really working on those early literacy skills. So everything from starting with letter names, letter sounds, working up to blending those together to read words, and then fluency, comprehension, reading with expression. And we also are in 4 preschool sites in Cass County, and those are focused on real high needs, Nokomis Child Care Center, Even Start Family Literacy, so targeting some low-income students there. And beyond North Dakota, we're a replication of Minnesota Reading Corps, which has been in operation for over 10 years, and the program's being replicated across the country in 6 other states. And it's a real research-based program with a lot of emphasis on data. So the really neat thing is that we can see individual student progress as well as chart the growth of all of our students and really see those numbers as they climb and see that we're closing that proficiency gap.
That is one of the things that we really liked about your program, and also the United Way of Cass Clay spoke highly of, is the success that you have been seeing. Whether it's been in the Minnesota program or down in Fargo, what growth rates have you noticed or that you've tracked with the students that you've been helping?
Sure. So last year for our elementary program, 95% of the students that we served, so about 395 out of 417, demonstrated progress towards achieving that grade level reading expectation. Of those students, 53% of them actually met the grade level expectation and were exited through the program. So they basically made more growth within more than 1 year's growth within less than 1 year's time. So they caught up with their peers and were able to end the school year reaching that spring target for their grade level.
Wow, and what a lasting effect that can have on them. And it also affects their self-esteem and their confidence levels too, doesn't it?
Absolutely. You hear that from our tutors all of the time who love those warm, fuzzy stories, those great stories that they tell about, once a student reaches that goal, maybe reading wasn't something they enjoyed before, and now all of a sudden they hear from the parents they love to read. They can't get their hands on enough books. They're excited. They're more engaged in the classroom because it's something that they're good at now and that they can actually enjoy, both keeping on pace with their peers in class, but also just the joy of reading and the opportunity that brings.
Well, and you think about the anxiety levels that even adults have speaking in public, and then you think about when you were younger and how that's just magnified. And yet, if you can't read when you're called on in class or you stumble, how that just affects your entire being and your day and your relationships with the other students. So what a fantastic program. Jolene, are you looking for volunteers?
We're very fortunate right now that we have filled all of our 41 AmeriCorps tutor positions for the current school year. We will begin in January looking for tutors for the 2015-16 school year, though, so they can definitely, anyone who's interested in serving with AmeriCorps and North Dakota Reading Corps can check back with us kind of along that time frame as we plan for the next school year.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Jolene, and thank you for everyone, all of the AmeriCorps volunteers that are helping out to make North Dakota Reading Corps available and effective to our local students. It's such an important indicator for future success. We appreciate you being on today.
Well, thank you so much, Jenna, and we really appreciate all of the support that United Way has provided to our program.
Yeah, very good. Well, we look forward to a continued partnership. If you are listening out there, you want to get more involved, go to msaunitedway.org. You can donate online, donate to fabulous programs like North Dakota Reading Corps,